All right, YouTube, the moment of truth. Canelo Kovalev, the hype is over, the talk is over. Time to shut up and fight. My favorite part of the whole process. So here we are. What is it today? Friday. Happy Halloween last night. Whatever. We'll talk about it in another video. Odd night. But look, let me get into it. Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Okay, think about that fight. If you're familiar, Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Okay, Buddy McGirt, remember, in his corner, told Tarver to punch with Roy Jones. Okay, he told him, punch with him. You can go back and listen to the tape. I've done it. Okay, what happened? He knocked out Roy Jones. Okay, now Buddy McGirt is telling Kovalev, you need to punch with Canelo. So could we see a repeat? I don't know. Possibly, maybe. I just wanted to throw that out there. A lot of little quick points. Little bullet points I'm going to talk about today. So, all right, now, most of you, kind of like myself, but a lot of us out there, I'll say us, not you, most of us, we've kind of lost faith in Kovalev. We kind of feel like he gave up against Andre Ward. But I don't know. When I think about it, I honestly think it was an early stoppage, but I do believe Andre Ward would have finished Kovalev had the fight gone on. Okay, but at this point, think about it. Andre Ward, establishment fighter, got special treatment in a heated moment. Okay, so I mean, could we see the same thing against Canelo Kovalev? Maybe, possibly. The referee might step in, stop the fight early. You never know. So I mean, these are all little random thoughts that I really want to get on record. So I don't know. I don't want to see any kind of shady business. We just need a good, meaningful fight. I don't even want to see the referee in the picture. You know what I mean? Like, do your little backwards jog, get the hell out the frame. And that's what I want to see. So hopefully we get that. And I don't even know who the referee is. Hopefully it's not Bird, but we'll see. Or like Kenny Bayless, right? But anyway, let's talk body shot. Let's talk about the body shots, okay? And we've been hearing a lot about it. Okay, Andre Ward hurt Kovalev with punches to the head. Remember this, to the head before he went to the body. Okay, and again, I went back and watched last night because I don't just want to get on here and say things that aren't true. He hurt, he was hurt. He landed that right hand. Then he went to the body. Yes, there were body shots early on, that kind of thing, but ultimately he was already buzzed, already hurt, from going up top. Then he went down low. Okay, so I just, I want to point that out because we're hearing a lot about, the body shot. So it's not like Andre Ward just walked in there, landed the body shot, Kovalev buckled. Okay, now, adding to that thought, okay, just another layer of information. I just listened to a 30-minute interview with Anthony Yarde. He said it took him 8 rounds, okay? 8 rounds. Damn, somebody's texting me. 8 rounds to hurt Kovalev. To the body, okay? To the body. We're talking about the body shot. Okay, 8 rounds, all right? So, I don't know. I don't know. To me, look, yes, he is weak to the body. I don't think he's as weak as a lot of us are making him out to be. Because, like I said, this is a big dude, Anthony Yarde, and he said, I went in there 100%, mean, just pissed off, angry, and he said, I was going to empty the tank. I just watched the interview, and he said that's when and only when he was able to hurt Kovalev to the body. Okay, and Anthony Yarde, he's a big dude, big puncher. So, all right, number 2, okay, the longer the fight goes on, it's going to favor Canelo. Of course, you know this, right? I mean, I think Kovalev's going to be at his strongest during the first half of the fight, but I think they're going to take him into deeper rounds. Even Bernard Hopkins said that was the game plan. So if there's any damage from the body shots, it'll probably show up in the later rounds, okay? And don't forget, Kovalev, he's got the mastermind, the genius, brilliant Buddy McGirt, and going back to Anthony Yarde, Kovalev said he won that fight on experience and on direction from his corner. And even Anthony Yarde said that. Without Buddy McGirt, Kovalev, he couldn't have come back after round 8 to win the fight to knock him out, with that left hand. So, so I really doubt, okay, I highly doubt that Kovalev and his coach, I doubt they're going to allow Canelo to win so easily, like this on such a fundamental thing. You can't just walk into a Kovalev fight, land a body shot, and get your hand raised, okay? And by the way, I'm also going to make another video about Kovalev's coach explaining, the keys to victory. I thought that was really cool because, I mean, he really broke it down. And but that'll be my next video, so you guys tune in for sure. It's going to be a good one, maybe kind of quick, but a good one. So now, of course, Canelo can land a good body shot, okay? He can hurt Kovalev early. I'm not saying that. He can land a body shot in round 1 and drop him. So I'm not saying it can't happen. I just don't think it's going to happen as easily as everyone thinks. So, so that's just my thought on it. So And even at this point, if you're going to hurt Kovalev to the body, you're going to have to work for it. So, and they know Canelo is the shorter, smaller, stockier fighter. I think Canelo will be, I think he'll be hunting the body, so they're probably going to use the jab fight at mid to long range. I mean, they better. Kovalev better fight at mid to long range. Now, let's talk about VADA, okay? Let's talk about VADA, like drum roll, VADA, okay? And I need to make like a 2-hour video in order to properly go over all the information about VADA, but yes, Canelo is enrolled, but that doesn't really mean anything. Okay, I just listened to another interview with Paulie Malignaggi and gave a great, excellent breakdown. You know, look, I don't think he can get away with cheating right now, but that doesn't mean he hasn't already cycled off of something. I mean, there's a possibility that he could have cycled off of something. Now, another thought: think about Kell Brook fighting Gennady Golovkin. He was hurt in that fight. Spence hurts him even more. Okay, because you know, he was in 2 tough fights back to back, essentially, basically. Now Kovalev just fought in August. Now he's fighting Canelo. You know, so of course that's, I think, going to give Canelo the upper hand. But according to Kovalev, he's better when he's active, and a lot of boxers, they thrive on activity. So again, these are points I'm throwing out there. He also said he really wasn't hurt against Anthony Yarde, although he got caught in the 8th round. This is according to Kovalev. So, but Anthony Yarde, you know, he said he had, like I mentioned earlier, he had to completely empty the gas tank, you know, to hurt Kovalev to the body. So anyway, right? You know, you guys know, I always look at the last or previous past whatever opponents when I'm trying to make a prediction. Okay, think about Canelo's opponents and the fact, and I talk about it all the time, but it's an important point that he hasn't had a meaningful knockout since 2016. Okay, we're talking Liam Smith, Amir Khan, Rocky Fielding. I mean, come on. So I don't know. I just don't see Kovalev or Canelo. I don't see Canelo, you know, dropping Kovalev. I mean, and Kovalev, I think he's had like 3 KOs, TKOs in the last 5 fights. I mean, you know, fact check me on that, but I don't know. I don't see Canelo as a big puncher. So I don't know. And what about the size? Okay, I think if Canelo comes in too bulky, he's probably going to gas out. I mean, I saw it firsthand. I was ringside during Kirkland. He gassed out. I mean, it's like every fight he gasses out, okay? And we know he's had problems with stamina in the past, so why do you think he was on PEDs in the first place? The dude had stamina problems. That's why he was on PEDs in the first place. So, but Canelo, no problem bulking up, adding mass, but the problem, I think, is going to be stamina. So when it comes in the, you know, if he comes in heavy, I'm talking too fast here. I'm excited, guys. I got to back up. I got to slow down. Okay, take a breath. All right. If he comes in heavy, I think that might work against him, right? Although it was weird, Buddy McGirt said Canelo's going to come in at like 168. So I don't know if I believe that or not. I was thinking, you know, 174, 175, you know, but yeah, Buddy McGirt said, no, we think we're you know, planning on him coming in under 170. It was weird. So anyway, moving on. Kovalev, right? Yes. Probably at the end of the road, but I believe he has a lot left in the tank. But who knows? Maybe he's cashing out. Maybe this Canelo fight is like a big retirement package. I don't know. I mean, you know, this is a hard fight to talk about. You know, it's nearly impossible to predict. So if I get it wrong, I'm okay with getting it wrong. And I'm going to tell you who I'm picking at the end. We're getting close. Just let me throw out a few more points, right? And we also know if it goes to the judges, Canelo will win. If it goes, I mean, just game over, right? Basically, if he can survive 12 rounds, he will get the nod. He'll get the decision. Probably a split decision, I would imagine. But either way, regardless, he will definitely get the decision. So, of course, Kovalev, we know he's going to use a jab. Canelo, he's going to time counterpunch. Obvious, not rocket science. You know, I think he's also going to try to get on the inside. I think we're going to see a lot of punches right down the middle because Kovalev has the reach advantage. Canelo's too short, you know, too small to be throwing those little quick check hooks. So I feel like Canelo is going to time Kovalev, you know, counter him with some big shots. But the question is, how is Kovalev's chin? How is Canelo's power? Who can take whose punches? I mean, not probably. I would definitely say, you know, Kovalev is the heavier hitter here. Although a lot of people out there are arguing with me on that. They're saying, no, they believe Canelo, you know, is a heavier hitter. Another thought, if Canelo truly belonged in the light heavyweight division, wouldn't he have already fought in the light heavyweight division? So that kind of tells me they see something in Kovalev they're looking to expose. Or is it rigged? I've heard that. You guys know I've heard it's rigged. Did Canelo completely get it wrong? Like I said, Buddy McGirt said that it's best there's only been a few examples, or that there's only been a few examples of fighters that has done what Canelo's doing. And I'm going to talk about it in my next video. I wish I could think of their names right now, but this is a very historic event. And truthfully, I'm excited for it. I am. I don't know why the fight is getting so much hate. I mean, I do know why. It's because people have a huge problem with Canelo and his resume and his past. But, I mean, regardless if you like Canelo or not, it is an historical event. And, I'm excited to see it. So, and I've said it for a long time. I believe it is a dangerous fight because you're stepping into the unknown. And that's really hard to predict what's going to happen. So, I mean, to be completely honest, that's what I'm most excited about. Look, I'm like a scientist in here. I love the unknown. I love the stats. I love it's like a chess match. And this is like such an historic event. I don't care who it is. I mean, I don't care if I like the guy or not. So, I mean, basically, look, let's move on. Two possible outcomes, okay? Canelo by decision, or Kovalev is gonna stop Canelo. So I don't think Kovalev will win on the judges' cards. I mean, I just don't. And also, I believe Canelo is going to be the more active puncher, right? I also think it's going to be more of a technical fight. I don't think it's, Hagler Hearns up in there, kind of a chess match. It might even be kind of boring. I think Canelo's going to play it safe and, try to get the decision. So now if Canelo goes for the knockout, I will give him a ton of credit because he knows he can win on the scorecards, right? If you're Canelo, make it to round 12, you win. So if he goes for the knockout, he's taking a risk, a huge risk of getting countered, gassing out, whatever. So I'll give him a ton of credit, if he goes in there and like he did in the Gennady Golovkin rematch. If he tries to win, okay? Although I felt he lost both fights, but my point is, I felt the second fight was a draw. Definitely fought or lost the original fight. So I'll give him a ton of credit if he truly goes for the knockout. Now, we've heard a lot since the Mayweather fight, Canelo, he's a complete fighter. True, right? I mean, I think he did good against Gennady Golovkin, although I think he lost, but he held his own. I mean, beat Daniel Jacobs, made the necessary adjustments in the Gennady Golovkin rematch, right? Another thing I don't like is this friendly, shaking hands, buddy, pal, how you doing? Let's take a selfie crap. Okay, I don't like all that. Like, that tells me, like, I don't know, I want Kovalev to take this serious. Like I want him to be like he was against like Pascal, with Jean Pascal. I mean, he was angry, right? He was mad, motivated, wanted to make a point. It seems like he just hit the lottery. Like he's really just happy, right? I mean, nothing wrong with being happy, but dude, like you're going into a fight and it's almost like he's going on vacation or something. I don't see the sense of urgency, the intensity that I want to see out of Kovalev. There's too much, just too much friendly, like I said, fist bump, blah, blah, all that crap. I don't like that. I just don't like it. Also, we know Canelo, having a lot of trouble with Golden Boy, and he didn't cut any weight for the fight. So is that gonna come into play, right? I mean, because usually Canelo has a very disciplined camp, a very disciplined training camp, and in this particular fight, he had a very easy camp, kind of like Chavez. And remember, after the Chavez fight, Canelo was saying that he couldn't knock him out or whatever because it was a different kind of camp. He was talking about that, how, you couldn't knock out an old washed up Chavez. He said, well, it wasn't, it was a different camp. I didn't have to cut any weight. We worked on technique and strategy and things like that. So, I just wonder if because he's not really, having a difficult camp, is that going to work against him on fight night? And I would say yes. I mean, I would think it is. But and we also know with Kovalev, he comes in at 191, at the highest 191. That's the official weight that I have found on record where he came in the highest. It was 191. So now, if Buddy McGirt is right, saying Canelo's going to come in at 168, 170, like how does he even know that? Like that is such an odd number to throw out there. And then you have Kovalev, maybe he comes in heavy, 180, 190. I mean, that would be insane, right? But I don't think so. I think there's going to be a 5, maybe 6 pound difference on fight night. That's what I believe. But unfortunately, we'll probably never get the official weights. I don't think Golden Boy would ever, officially release the, fight night weights, which I think they should. I think it should be mandatory that they have to, but, I'd be very interested in knowing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm, just maybe a quick little recap. I'm going to make a video. You're looking at the coach right there, Coach Buddy, Coach BG right there. He gave the keys to victory, what they plan on doing, and he did this like 2 days ago. So it's a recent interview. So I do want to get that, get that out there for you guys. So, but right now, who am I picking? Whew, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. So originally, I mean, we have two options. Like, you know the options: Canelo by decision or Kovalev. He's not getting a decision. He's gonna have to stop. But here's the thing: like, it's so hard because I mean, all along, I'm picking Canelo to win, right? You guys know Canelo by decision, Canelo by decision. Just make it to round 12. But I have a feeling. Maybe he bit off more than he can chew. So, I guess I'm officially going to go with Kovalev, right? I mean, I just feel like at some point in a boxer's career, they just, it's too much, right? Think about, Pacquiao moving up to Margarito, Oscar De La Hoya, but that was different. That was a lot different, different circumstances, different time, different fighters, things like that. I mean, I guess you could make that comparison with Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, but this is a little bit different because I don't feel that Kovalev is that washed up. I mean, 5 years ago, he would have just annihilated Canelo. It would have been just a crime in there, right? Horrific. But now, I'd say Kovalev is probably 75% of what he used to be, right? Which is still very dangerous. I mean, WBO top 4, he's up there with the top 4 dogs in the light heavyweight division, so... But yeah, I guess I'm going to go with Kovalev. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to have a little bit of fun. And I know I'm going to catch hell over it. I know how you people are. Like, oh, you picked Kovalev, you got it wrong, but whatever. Sorry guys, I'm not feeling good lately. Yeah, we got really cold weather here and my throat's hurting, my chest's hurting, all that, so it's hard to talk. But so yeah, I'm going with Kovalev. I think man, I don't know. It's so hard. Like, every time I say it out loud, I want to say, I mean Canelo. Well, it's like, I'm going with Kovalev. Don't you mean Canelo? I'm like, yeah, you do mean. No, you don't. It's very hard, but officially, I got to say something. So I've got Kovalev winning. I don't know how. Man, I mean, to see Canelo knocked out, could you imagine? I mean, could you imagine, right? I mean, so, I don't know how he's going to win, but I think somehow Kovalev is going to win.